All right, let's go on. Reading passage 3. Timur Gariev, blindfold chess champion. Wow. Timur Gariev, blindfold means who blindfolds his eyes and he plays chess. Okay? Yeah, I think his name is there in Guinness Book of World Record as well. Timur Gariev, blindfold chess champion. You know chess is a game. This person is a champion of chess, and the specialty is he plays chess without looking at that. He's blindfolded. Blindfold means aankhon pe patti bande hona. He's blindfolded and he plays chess. Right? Okay. That's interesting. You can Google him, but you don't have time. Again, passage is labeled A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. What does that mean? That means Siapa. And that Siapa can be list of headings or which paragraph contains the following information. So what do we have? Which paragraph contains the following information? How many questions? 6 questions. And passage 3. And usually students maximum have 20 minutes for passage 3 because of poor time management. What do? They waste all their time on passage 1. According to me, passage 1 should not take more than 15 minutes. Because in passage 1, type A questions are given. Passage 2 should take around 20 minutes. And passage 3 should take around 25 minutes. Okay? But anyways, so we will do questions 27 to 32 first. No, we'll do them last, right? Then questions 33 to 36, they are true, false, not given. How many questions? 4. Type A. Questions and answers are in order. And then we have 37 to 40, complete the summary below. So 4 questions there. I would advise you to start from summary completion. Then come to true, false, not given. And at the end, if you find time, good. Otherwise, tukas. Okay? Because you don't leave any blank. So you just have to do the tukas. And this is the time when they have final announcements. When they announce candidates, make sure you transfer your answers to the answer sheets. Invigilators come and they say, answer transfer karo. Answer your transfers to the answer sheet. Because this is their responsibility. And if you fail to transfer the answers, you will get 1 band. Yeah, they will not check your question booklet. This is question booklet you're holding. In actual exam, they will not check the question booklet. They will only check the answer sheet. If in 1 hour, no answer is written on answer sheet, you will get 1 band. 1 band means non-user of English. Iska English se koi rishta nahi hai. Anyways, let's start. Questions 37 to 40. Choose 1 word only from the passage. How the research was carried out. Okay? Question number 37. The researchers started by testing Gariev, or whatever his name is. Has anybody heard his name? Gary. Okay, we call him Gary. Let's call him Gary. Okay, no problem. The researchers started by testing Gary's dash. For example, he was required to recall a string of dash. Now let's see researchers. Look for the word researchers and how they started. Researchers. Absolutely fine. For researchers, they use the word scientists. This is how they play. And the good thing is, you will find all the answers in order in paragraph F and paragraph G. So, the scientist first had Gary's performance, some standard memory test. Now listen, the scientist first. So what did they do first? They had some standard memory tests. Now come back. Come back. Now we have 3 words. 3 words. Standard memory tests. Which word will be the answer? Exactly. Because for test they use the word testing Gary's memory. You cannot write testing Gary's standard. That will be wrong. Correct answer is memory. And those who write standard, they will be double confident. Standard is the right answer. I have written here. Remember one thing, wrong answer will not give any sense. Logically, grammatically, ethically, wrong answer will never give any sense. So the first correct answer is 37. And for example, now this is linked. In one sentence, if there are two blanks, it means answer is very close, right? For example, he was required. What do they mean by he? Gary, absolutely. He was required to recall a string of dash in order. A string of dash in order. Come back. Memory test. These assessed his ability to hold numbers, pictures, and words in mind. Ability to hold numbers, pictures, and words in mind. Now come back. What will be the right answer? He was required. For example, he was required to recall a string of dash in order and also in reverse order. So something in order and in reverse order. So let's see. They say here, these assessed his ability to hold numbers, pictures, and words in mind. One classic test measures how many numbers as a person can repeat both forward and backwards. Absolutely. So what was that? Numbers in order and also in reverse order. What is the word for in order and in reverse order? Forward and backward. Now for example, 100, 99, 98, 97, 96, 95, blah, 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 like that. So answer is numbers. And how did you find this answer? Because they mentioned in order and also in reverse order. Question number 39. Although his performance was normal, scans showed an unusual amount of dash within the areas of Gary's brain. Unusual amount of dash. Unusual amount. Focus that. Unusual amount of dash. Let's read on. I'm reading it from paragraph F, and just let's read from this 1, 2, 3, 4, 6th line. But next came, found it? But next came the brain scans, because they use the word scan. Next came the brain scan. With Gary lying down in the machine, Risman looked at how well connected the various regions of the chess player brains were. Though, just a second, that's not the answer. Though the results are tentative and yet unpublished, the scans found much greater than average communication. And what does that mean? That means unusual amount of. Now see the link. Unusual amount of much greater than average. Unusual amount of much greater than average. They are synonyms. They are rewording. So answer is communication. Okay? All good? Yeah. Let's go on. The next one. In addition, the scans raised the possibility of unusual strength in the parts of his brain that deal with dash input. Underline the word input. Now listen, answer is the part of a brain which deals with a type of input. Type of input. Paragraph G. Everyone please come to paragraph G. It was not the only hint of something special in Gary's brain. The scans also suggest Gary's visual network is more highly connected to other brain parts than usual. Initial results suggest that the areas of his brain that process visual images, such as chessboard, may have stronger links to other brain. Now, visual images, such as chessboards, may have stronger links to other brain regions and so be more powerful than normal. So, what is the input? Visual, absolutely. Visual network is more connected and then stronger the links of other brain's regions such as chessboard. So images of chessboard, they are visual inputs. Unusual strength in the parts of the brain that deal with. Parts of the brain that deal with. What is the word for that? Yeah, they use the word areas of his brain. For parts of brain, what is the word? Third line. Third line. Areas of his brain that process. That process means areas of the brain that deal with. Process means deal with, process visual images. So the correct answer is visual. All right. Okay, guys, now we have true, false, not given. And then in the end, we'll go to 27 to 32. True, false, not given. You are already familiar. Within the statement, first we'll find clue word, then we'll find a word or a phrase which is going to decide whether the answer is true, false, or not given. Question number 33. In the forthcoming games, all the participants will be blindfolded. Underline forthcoming games. Now listen, encircle the word all. Encircle the word all. What do they say? All the participants will be blindfolded. Now look here. If all the participants will be blindfolded, they use the word all 10 participants will be blindfolded. Blindfolded means aankhon pe patti bandi hogi, right? So if they will be blindfolded, answer is true. If half will be blindfolded, half will not be blindfolded, or majority of them will be blindfolded, 9 out of 10 will be blindfolded, then the answer is false. And if they don't tell us whether all or some or few, then the answer is not given. Now listen, it's true, false, not given. Questions, answers are in order, so you should start your search from paragraph A. Next month, a chess player named Temur will take on nearly 50 opponents at once. How many opponents? Okay, let's read carefully. But that is not the hard part. While his challengers will play the games as normal, Gary himself will be... Now, other 50 players, will they be blindfolded? No, they will play as normal. Only Gary will be blindfolded. So the correct answer, in the forthcoming games, all the participants will be blindfolded? No, only Gary will be blindfolded and others will not be blindfolded. Answer is false. See that you now understand the logic of false, why it is false. Once you understand why it is false, then it will become easier for you. And over here they use the word all. And by the way, I have seen the word all in many true, false, not given. Whenever they use the word all, you have to just check this thing only. Question number 34. Gary has won competition in base jumping. Now listen, base jumping is your clue word. If he won competition, answer is true. If he participated but he lost, answer is false. And if they don't tell us whether he won or he lost, then it is not given. So Gary has won competition in base jumping. It's the same paragraph. Got it? Okay, I'm reading it from 4th line. 28-year-old already stands. Found it? Yes. Please follow me, everyone. थोड़ा सा रह गया, हिम्मत करें. 4th line. 28-year-old already stands out in the rare field word of blindfold chest. He has a fondness for bright clothes and unusual hairstyles, and he gets his kicks from adventure sport of base jumping. That's it. He has already proved himself a strong chess player. Now, did they mention anything that Gary has won a competition in base jumping? No, they only use this thing. He gets his kicks from the adventure sports of base jumping. But he won, he lost. There is no information on that. That is why answer is false. थैंक यू. थोड़ा सा एंजॉय किया, आपको झटका दिया हल्का सा. ओके, ये जो सोए हुए थे वो भी उठ गए. ओह, नॉट गिवन. इट इज नॉट गिवन. वेल डन. हाँ, गेट इज किक. किक का नहीं पता सलमान खान ने क्या बोला था, कौन सी मूवी में बोला था कि किक मिल जाए बस. किक मूवी का नाम भी किक था. किक किसे कहते हैं, किसे कहते हैं किक को? मोटिवेशन मिल जानी, शुरू में कोई रीजन मिल जानी, किक मिल जाए. ठीक है. अब जब एक दोस्त थे, उनकी शादी होनी थी ना, तो मंगनी नहीं हो रही थी. मंगनी हुई तो उनको किक मिल गई. उसके बाद उन्होंने 3 कमेटियां डाली और जब तीसरी कमेटी निकली तो उनकी शादी हो गई. नहीं, इनका कोई ताल्लुक नहीं है उससे. तीसरी निकल आई थी ना, और जहां जहां कमेटी डाली उनको कहा पहली मैं लेनी, और रीजन भी बताया. ठीक है. और अब कहता है कि काश वो कमेटियां ना निकली होती, ना ही मुझे मिलती तो अच्छा था, क्योंकि फिर उसके बाद कमेटी टूट जाती है. हाँ, फिर जो है ना बड़ा मुश्किल हो जाता है. अच्छा जी, लेट्स गो ऑन. 34, answer is not given. 35, UCLA is the first. Wow, this word first will decide. हो गया ना आसान? UCLA is first university to carry out research into blindfold chess players. Now look here. If UCLA is first university which is going to do that, answer is true. If it has already been done before, then the answer is false. And if they don't tell us whether the university is smile first, second or third, then the answer is not given. So UCLA. Excellent. Paragraph B, UCLA. I'm reading it from the middle. Researchers at the University of California in Los Angeles called him in for tests. They now have their first results, right? And if you read before that, in the hope of understanding, I'm reading second line, paragraph B, second line. In the hope of understanding how he and others like him can perform such mental feats, researchers at University of California in Los Angeles called him in for tests. They now have their first results. The first results, listen. The ability to play a game of chess with your eyes closed is not a far reach for most accomplished players, said Jess Risman, who runs a memory lab at UCLA. But the thing that's so remarkable about Timur and few other individuals is the number of games they can keep active at once. To me, it is simply astonishing. Now come back. UCLA is the first university to carry out research. The word first. They did not mention whether that university is the first one. For first, they usually use the word groundbreaking research. Groundbreaking research means first university or first research. So the word first is not given anywhere. That is why the answer is not given. Very good. And have you noticed one thing? Two not given. You know, two not given and then one false. So the last one should be first results does not mean the first university to carry out research. If we do a research and we do 5 experiments, the result of first experiment will called first results, second results, third results. But the research that was first, second, third, fourth, they didn't mention anything about that, okay? All right, so 36 is और दो नॉट गिवन हो गए, उन सारे नॉट गिवन कर दियो. वाई नॉट गिवन? मनु लभ्या ही नहीं. हाँ, जो मुझे नहीं मिलेगा वो नॉट गिवन, जिसको मैं चाहूंगा वो ट्रू, जो मुझे पसंद नहीं आएगा वो फॉल्स. एग्जैक्टली, अपना ही दुनिया बना ले. ओके, गुड चेस प्लेयर्स आर लाइकली टू बी एबल टू प्ले ब्लाइंड फोल्ड चेस. Good chess players are likely to be able. Likely to be able means they can play. Good chess players can play chess blindfolded. Now let's go back. Paragraph E for elephant. Very good. Accomplished means good. We use the word accomplished cricketers, accomplished footballer. So for accomplished, they use the word good chess players. Paragraph E for elephant. All of you. Accomplished players can develop the skill of playing blind even without realizing it. So what do they say? Good chess players are likely to be able. Likely to be able means can develop the skill. Likely to be able to play blindfold chess, can develop a skill of playing blind even without realizing it. Answer is true. Very good. Speaking? हाँ, बड़े बड़े शाहकार हैं. स्पीकिंग का टेस्ट ही भूल गया शहजादा. कहता मुझे याद ही नहीं कि मेरा स्पीकिंग का टेस्ट था. चलें स्टार्ट करें जी. ओके, लेट्स स्टार्ट क्वेश्चंस 27 to 32. रीडिंग पैसेज 3 हैज 8 पैराग्राफ्स. आमतौर पे 8 ही होते हैं, 6 to 8. Which paragraph contains the following information? Now see that at this stage we are familiar with the passage. We have read different paragraphs of the passage, so these questions are going to be somewhat easier for us. Question number 27. A reference to earlier examples of blindfold chess. Earlier examples means in the past there was blindfold chess. Reference to earlier examples of blindfold chess. Go to paragraph A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D. Look for the word 13th century, 1947. Earlier examples mean examples in the past. Now listen and keep in mind, whenever they use the word earlier, look for past times. Look for past tense. Look for past years. So what are the past years mentioned here? 13th century, 1947. I'm reading paragraph D. Please follow me. To the uninitiated, blindfold chess seems to call for superhuman skill, but displays of the feat go back centuries. The first recorded game means blindfold chess. First recorded game in Europe was played in 13th century Florence in 1947. The Argentinian Grandmaster Miguel played 45 simultaneous games in the mid and all that. So paragraph D contains reference to earlier examples of blindfold chess. Got it? Whenever they use the word earlier, look for past time. Question number 28. Outline of what blindfold chess involves. They tell us in a paragraph, and this paragraph is going to be somewhere where they give us the information, one person is blindfolded and this and that. Outline of what blindfold chess involves. Go to paragraph A, B, C, D, E. What blindfold chess involves. An outline of what blindfold chess involves. Okay, the correct answer is paragraph E, right? And it is given in the third line. Please follow third line. From this, regular players develop a memory for the pattern, the pieces make, the defenses and attacks. You recreate in your mind, said Gary's. A lot of players are capable of doing it. So what does it involve? Blindfold chess. They mention the nature of the game is to run through possible moves in the mind to see how they play out. From this, regular players develop a memory for the patterns of pieces. It involves this. The defenses, second thing. And the third is attacks. So for 28, question is an outline. Now what is the outline? Outline is patterns of pieces make, the defenses and attacks. So for question number 28, outline of what blindfold chess involves, that is E. Okay, 29, a claim that Gary's skill is limited to chess. A claim in one paragraph where they talk about other stuff also, a claim that Gary's skill is limited to chess. That he can only play chess. That blindfold, he cannot play any other game. He can only play chess, blindfold chess. A claim that Gary's skill is limited to chess. Go to paragraph FGH. 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 Alright, paragraph F, please come to fifth line. Said wristman, found it? 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth line in the middle. Said wristman, mil gaya? Now let's read after that. We didn't find anything other than playing chess that he seems to be supremely gifted at. Okay? Now what is this sentence? We didn't find anything other than playing chess. Anything other means any other game that he seems to be supremely gifted at. So 29, a claim that Gary's skill is limited to chess. Got it? See that? One sentence and one sentence matched. Question number 30. Why Gary's skill is of interest of scientists. A paragraph where they mention why Gary's skill is of interest of scientists. Go to paragraph B, C, D. Paragraph B, C, D. Interest of scientists. They use the word in the first line. Paragraph B. But Gary's prowess has drawn interest from beyond the chess playing community. Now, what is beyond the chess playing community? In the hope of understanding how he and others like him can perform such mental feats, researchers. Got it? Now come back to question number 30. Why Garif's skill is of interest of scientists. So, for scientists, they use the word researchers. Question number 31. An outline. Outline means list. An outline of Garif's priorities. Now, what does he prefer? What are his priorities? Outline of that. Go to paragraph FGH. Outline of his priorities. H. For the word record attempt. Please come to paragraph H. For the word record attempt, Garif's hopes to play. Now, the list of his priority. What is that? Hopes to play 47 blindfold games at once in about 16 hours. Okay, now what is next? He will need to win 80% to claim the title. So, list of his priorities is he will play 47 blindfold games at once in about 16 hours. And then he will need to win 80% of the claim, the title. And then he says, I don't worry too much about winning percentage. Yeah, that's it. So, question number 31, an outline of Garif's priorities. And what are they? Garif's hopes to play. Hopes to play means outline of his priorities. 47 blindfold games at once in about 16 hours. Question number 32, a reason why the last part of a game may be difficult. In one paragraph, they will give us the reason the last part of the game may be difficult. A reason. Paragraph E. Okay, come to paragraph E. And where is that reason? Okay, paragraph E, and please come to second page. There they use the word end of game. That's what they used, a reason why the last part. Last part means end. So, paragraph E, second page, and please come to third sentence. But the ends of games, found it? Okay, now what are the reasons? They mention, but the ends of games are taxing too, as exhaustion sets in. What is the reason? Exhaustion sets in. When Garif is tired, another reason he is tired. His recall can get patchy. His recall memory gets patchy. He sometimes makes moves based on only a fragmented memory of the pieces. So these are the reasons why last part means end of the game, may be difficult. Question number 32, correct answer is E. 27, answer is D for doctor. 28, E for elephant. 29, F for fire. 30, B for boy. 31, H for house. And 32, E for electronic. That's it. Okay guys, reading passage 3. Title, Building the Skyline. ऐसे पुट्ठे topics लेके आते हैं ना, but they are very interesting. Now I've started to take interest. This is the latest book and I've solved all the tests. And I really enjoy going through these tests. Building the Skyline. The birth and growth of Manhattan's skyscrapers. Where is Manhattan? In New York, in America, all right? Yeah, don't say ਸਾਡੇ ਪਿੰਡ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਦੂਜਾ ਪਿੰਡ Manhattan. Okay? So, the birth and growth of Manhattan skyscrapers. And then there is another subtitle, Catherine L. Chester reviews a book by Jason. Okay, Building the Skyline, Birth and Growth of Manhattan Skyscrapers. It's a very useful book. कितने लोगों ने पढ़ी हुई है? किसी ने भी नहीं पढ़ी? मैंने भी नहीं पढ़ी. Okay, it's a very useful book. Okay, don't read it. All right. So what does it mean? We have a book review. What do we have? A book review. And what is the book about? Building the Skyline, and the book is about skyscrapers of Manhattan. What is skyscraper? Tall building. Like in Pakistan, we've got Arfa Karim Tower. That is a skyscraper, okay? And there are many more buildings like that. So, Manhattan's skyscrapers. Now come to questions. Multiple choice. multiple choice. Questions 27 to 31. Sidha okay be? Questions and answers are in order. Yes. Questions 32 to 35. Yes, no, not given. Questions and answers are in order. Questions 36 to 40. Summary completion. Questions and answers are. Wow. Sukhi ho gaya kaam. Yeah? All are in order. Abhi karenge to maut padegi. Okay? For now it's okay. Alright. Where should we start from? Let's start from multiple choice. Okay? We start from multiple choice because, but anyways, I would recommend you to start from 36 to 40, then do 32 to 35, and then do 27 to 31. Okay? But we start from question number 27. What point does Chester make? Underline Chester. You know Chester? Yasin de Mamedi Kudi. What point does Chester make about Barr's book? Whose book? Barr. Do you know Barr? Chache da munda. Okay. In the first paragraph. Now look here. Question now. What point does Chester make? Chester may be the writer of this review. What point does Chester make about Barr's book? The review of the book was written by Barr. Barr's book means Barr is the author of the book and Chester is the reviewer of the book. So what point does Chester make about Barr's book in the first paragraph? Wow, they're so good. They mentioned first paragraph. If they mention first paragraph, second line. Yeah, it's going to be even easier than that. Now, come back. First paragraph. What point they make? I'm reading first paragraph from the beginning. In Building the Skyline, Jason Barr takes the reader through the detailed history of New York City. The book combines geology, history, economics, and a lot of data to explain why business clusters developed, where they did, and how the early decision of workers and firms shaped the skyline. Now just focus why, then focus how. Okay, why and how, and the firms shape the skyline we see today. So they talk about why and how. Option A. Now listen, after this you will read the options, and by the way, wrong options automatically you are going to eliminate. Yes.
Don't we have to read the whole paragraph?
No, I mean we got the point. I tell you, in the beginning they mentioned, and the most important thing is why and how. Now I'm going to link it with the answer, why and how. I got it already. It gives a highly original explanation for urban development. No. Option B. Elements of Barr's research papers are incorporated throughout the book. No. Now C, chance is 50-50. And best way is elimination. Elimination means wrong one out. Okay. Option C. Other books that are available on the subject have taken a different approach. There is no mention of other books. Option D, it covers a range of factors that affected the development of New York. Now come back. What are the range of factors? Yeah, they mentioned that why business clusters development, where they did. Now why, where, how. So they are range of factors. So for question number 27, correct answer is D for doctor. Clear? You can do it when you do it at home, you will understand it better because you are repeating it. So when you repeat the test, you understand things better, all right? Question number 28. How does Chester respond to the information in the book about tenements? Now what's the clue word? Tenements. Now let's look for, how does Chester respond? So answer of Chester to the information in the book about tenements. Please come back. Tenements, where do you find? Third paragraph. Okay. Now please come to third line of third paragraph. Got it? Third line of third paragraph. Both chapters are informative. Got it? Now let's read it carefully from here. Both chapters are informative and well researched and set the stage for the economic analysis that comes later in the book. I would have liked, now focus this thing, I means reviewer. I would have liked Barr to expand upon his claim that existing tenements prevented skyscrapers in certain neighborhoods because, and then there is the reason. What does the reviewer say? I would have liked Barr to expand upon his claim. Now it means Barr claimed about something, but he did not elaborate that. He did not expand it on that. So the writer says, I would have liked Barr to expand upon his claim that existing tenements prevented skyscrapers in certain neighborhoods. It means there is little information about existing tenements. So I would have liked him to explain more. Come back, please. Option A, she describes the reason for Barr's interest. No. Option B, she indicates a potential problem with Barr's analysis. C, she compares Barr's conclusion with that of other writers. No. Option D, she provides details about the source Barr used for his research. No. Okay, now come back. If you still don't find it, you've got to come back to the passage. Please come back to the passage. We read it again from here. Both chapters are informative and well researched. Focus it. Both chapters are informative and well researched and set the stage for the economic analysis that comes later in the book. So, all right. Option B, she indicates a potential problem. What is that potential problem? Not? Absolutely, with Barr's analysis. So please come back. This is set the stage for economic analysis that comes later in the book. I would have liked Barr to expand on his claim. So he explains later in the book, but she wanted that explanation first. That's why she indicates a potential problem with Barr's analysis. And what is that problem? Not? Absolutely. This thing, Barr to expand upon his claim. So that is the problem that existing tenements prevented. Correct answer is option B. Sometimes when you eliminate wrong choices, you are left with the right answer. And sometimes if you don't read carefully, first of all, you will eliminate the right answer. Okay? You will say, hai nahi, aur wahi answer hota hai. So be careful. Question 29. What does Chester say about chapter 6 of the book? What's the clue word? Yes, chapter 6. What does Chester say about chapter 6 of the book? Second page, third paragraph. Chapter 6, fourth last line. Got it? Second page, third paragraph, 1, 2, 3, fourth last line. Now what does Chester say? Chapter 6 then presents data on building height throughout the 20th century and uses regression analysis to predict building construction, while less technical than the research paper on which the chapter is based. So while less technical than the research paper on which the chapter is based, it is probably more technical than would be preferred by a general audience. So what is it? More technical than would be preferred by a general audience. She says chapter 6 is more technical, while less technical than the research paper. Okay, listen. Chapter 6 is based on a research paper. That research paper is very technical. Chapter 6 is less technical than the research paper which the chapter is based. It is probably more technical than would be preferred by a general audience. So for general audience, still it is technical. Come back. Question number 29. A. It contains conflicting data. Data is used, but conflicting word is not given. So A is not the right answer. B. It focuses too much on possible trends. No, it does not. They talked about possible trends, that they were building high buildings. So it's not that. Option C. It is too specialized for most readers. Now listen, what is the word for too specialized? Technical. Too specialized, for that they use the word here, more technical than would be preferred by general audience. General audience means readers, right? So more technical, and for that they use the word too specialized. So for question number 29, correct answer is C. Let's go on. Question number 30. What does Chester suggest? Underline Chester suggest. What does Chester suggest about the chapters focusing on 1920s building boom? Now, clue word is 1920s building boom. Well done. And the question is, what does Chester suggest? Please come to second last paragraph. Chapter 8 and 9 focus on the birth of Midtown and building boom of the 1920s. Chapter 8 contains lengthy discussions of urban economic theory that may serve as a distraction. Now, this may serve as a distraction to readers primarily interested in New York. So that chapter is a distraction for the readers who are primarily interested in New York. Come back. What does Chester suggest about the chapters focusing 1920s building? Option A, information should have been organized. No. Option B, more facts are needed about the way construction was financed. Not at all. Some options are no, some options are not at all, some options are maybe, some options are yes. Okay. Option C, explanation that is given for the building boom is unlikely. Explanation is given, but they didn't mention it is unlikely. Option D, some parts will have limited appeal to certain people. Now let's go back. Focus, limited appeal to certain people. What is that? Readers primarily interested in New York. For readers they use the word certain people. For limited appeal, they use the word interested in New York. This is high level English, you have to understand. You're doing academic IELTS reading part 3. So listen again. For readers, what is the word they used? Certain people. Okay, certain people is used for readers. And limited appeal. What is limited appeal? Interested in New York. For example, if I am interested in New York, it means I've got limited appeal. Right? Just like that. So to readers primarily interested in New York, for that question number 30, correct answer is D. Question number 31. What impresses Chester the most? Underline impresses Chester the most about the chapter on land values. What's the clue word? Okay, what impresses Chester the most? And she will use any word for most and what I was impressed most by and all that. So please come back. Last paragraph. Okay, I'm reading in the final chapter, chapter 10, Bart discusses another of his, is it chapter 10? Chapter on land values. Okay, now let's see. Do we have the word land values? Fourth line. Okay, now let's read it from here. In the final chapter, chapter 10, Bart discusses another of his empirical papers that estimates Manhattan land values from the mid-19th century to the present day. The data work that went into these estimations is particularly impressive. What is impressive particularly? Data. Let's go on. Toward the end of the chapter, Barr assesses whether skyscrapers are a cause or an effect of high land value. Are they the reason for high land value, or are they the cause of that? Cause or effect of that? He finds that changes in land value predict future building height. Let's go back. Okay, option A, broad time period that is covered. No. Option B, interesting questions that Barr asks. This is not given. Now we are left with C and D. Be careful. Nature of the research into the topic. D, recommendations Barr makes for the future. Okay, now let's come back. They say the book ends with an epilogue in which Barr discusses the impact of climate change on the city. There is no future. There is anything about future. So please come back to the question 31. Correct answer is C. Nature of the research. Let's find it. Nature of the research into the topic. What is the nature of the research? Data work. Got it? Data work is actually the nature. Data work that went into these estimations is particularly impressive. So data work is the nature of research. For question number 31, correct answer is C. All right. हम लोग 12 बजे तक क्लास कर रहे हैं रात के. ठीक है, अब सुबह 12 बजे तो आपने आना है ना. ठीक है, बुला रहे हैं आपको. बुला रहे हैं आपको भाई. ओके, राइट. So let's go on. Questions 36 to 40. And this is summary completion. And summary completion is easier if they don't give you list of words. There are two types of summary completion. One, they give you list of words, that is more complicated. And one without list of words, for that you have to pick up a word and just write the word down there. But anyways, let's see. What's the topic? The bedrock myth. So the good thing is questions and answers are in order. And how many paragraphs are there in the questions? 2 paragraphs. It means you need to go to 2 locations. If there is 1 paragraph, you will find all answers in 1 paragraph. If there are 2 separate paragraphs, you will find the answers in 2 separate paragraphs. So anyways, let's see. Let's read the question first. Bedrock myth. Where do they talk about bedrock myth? Okay, it's the third last paragraph of the passage where they talk about bedrock myth. So luckily we will find the answers here. Is this clear? Alright, now please come to questions. In chapter 7, what have they mentioned? Chapter 7, bar indicates how the lack of bedrock close to the surface does not explain why skyscrapers are absent from dash. Underline, why skyscrapers are absent from dash. Why skyscrapers are absent from. Focus the word absent from. Please come back. Third last paragraph. I'm reading from beginning. Found it? Chapters 7 tackle the bedrock myth. The assumption that the absence of bedrock close to the surface between downtown and midtown New York is the reason for skyscrapers not being built between the 2 urban centers. Not being built between the 2 urban centers. Come back. 2 urban centers. So why skyscrapers are absent from 2 urban centers? Now please find a synonym of 2 urban centers. 2 urban centers. Yes, well done. Option H. For 2 urban centers, they have used specific areas. So what will be the answer? Answer will not be specific areas. Answer will be H. Well done. Let's go on. He points out that although the cost of foundations increases when bedrock is deep below the surface, this cannot be regarded as. Underline, cannot be regarded as. Now this means bedrock cannot be regarded as. Come back. Same paragraph. After 2 urban centers. Rather, Barr argues that while deeper bedrock does increase foundation cost, these costs were neither prohibitively high nor were they large compared to the overall cost. Compared to the overall cost. Now come back. Look for something prohibitively high. They use the word prohibitively high. Okay, prohibitively high. Option D, excessive expense. When something is prohibitively high means very, very high. So that is option D, excessive expense. They cannot be regarded as prohibitively high, and for that they said excessive expense, especially when compared to. Now when compared to dash, go back, same line. When compared to dash, very good. Compared to the overall cost. Now find a word for overall cost. Well done. Overall cost, I, total expenditure. Got it? This is what they are checking in reading. Overall cost and total expenditures. Okay, a particularly enjoyable part of the chapter was Barr's account of how foundations are built. He describes not only how dash are made possible by the use of cations. Now find a word cation, and he describes not only how dash are made possible. Same paragraph. Okay, I'm reading it after overall cost. What I enjoyed the most about this chapter was Barr's discussion. Mil gaya? Okay, Barr's discussion of how foundations are actually built. He describes the use of cations which enable workers to dig down. Cations enable workers to dig down. Come back here. He describes not only how dash are made possible. What is made possible? Dig down. What is the word for dig down? Dig down is deep excavation. Excavation means khudai. Dig means khudai. Right? So, dig down, and for that they use the word deep excavations. Got it? Now this is what they are checking, high level vocabulary. And those who don't know these things, they will be helpless. Bebas ho jayenge. Ai, bas, khatam. But through practice, IELTS, listen, IELTS prepares you for IELTS. Cambridge IELTS books improve your reading, writing, listening, speaking, and then you are ready for the test, right? So IELTS will improve your overall English as well. Question number 40. But he also discusses there. There means cations. Exactly. There means cations. But he also discusses their dash. Cations something. Come back to same paragraph. Okay, I'm reading dig down. Dig down मिल गया सबको? Dig down से आगे चलते हैं. For considerable distance after below the water table until they reach bedrock. Bards through technological history discusses not only how cations work but also the dangers involved. First they talk about how they work, but also the dangers involved. Now word for dangers involved. F, associated risks. For involved they use the word associated. For dangers they use the word risks. So for question number 40, answer is F. 36H, 37D, 39B, and 40F. Okay? Alright. Okay guys, now please come to questions 32 to 35. Yes, no, not given. So we start. Do the following statements agree with the claims of the writer? Underline claims of the writer. Claims of the, and in true, false, not given, we've got factual information. In yes, no, not given, we've got claims of the writer. Okay, questions and answers are in order. Question number 32. Description in first chapter. Underline description, first chapter, of how New York probably looked from the air in the early 1600s lacks interest. Now listen. What's the clue word? 1600s. First chapter, how New York looks in the air. In the air means from aeroplane, from helicopter. And that lacks interest. Look here, look here. Only these two words will decide. Lacks interest. If that chapter is most interesting, answer is false or no. If that lacks interest, it's boring, then answer is yes. And if they don't tell us whether it lacks interest or it is more interesting, then it is not given. So please come back. Second paragraph. Barr begins chapter 1 by taking the reader on a helicopter time machine ride, giving a fascinating account. Now, fascinating account. And over here they use the word lacks interest. True, false तो हम कर ही नहीं रहे. No. This is a very common mistake students do. For yes, they write true. For no, they write false. At the end, they say, oh, hi, my reading went very well. Okay, your answer will be wrong if you write true, false for yes, no, and all that. Okay, so lacks interest, and there they say fascinating account. Fascinating means interesting. It does not lack interest. So question number 32 answer is no. 33 now. Chapters 2 and 3 prepare the reader well for material yet to come. Chapters 2 and 3, come back. Chapters 2 and 3. Yeah, chapters 2 and 3. It's the third paragraph. And please come to third line. Both chapters. Found it? Third line, both chapters. Now what does both chapters mean? Chapters 2 and 3. Both chapters are informative and well researched and set the stage for the economic analysis that comes later in the book. So these two chapters prepare the readers for the next chapter that comes in the book. Chapters 2 and 3 prepare the reader well for material yet to come. What is material yet to come? The next chapters. Okay, answer is yeah. अब कहा ना ट्रू पर मैं कौ खाऊंगा. All right, let's go on. The biggest problem, underline biggest problem. यासीन मुझे नस्वार लेके आना. You know, I have chundi and then start reading. No problem. Yeah. और नहीं वापस आ जा. वाकई ना लिया नस्वार. Once I did in one of the videos. There was the candy and I did it like this and I put it there. Actually it was candy, but I took it the way Naswar is taken, but then I gave the clarification it's not Naswar. I don't smoke, I don't take anything like that. सिर्फ खाना खाता हूँ, पानी पीता हूँ, बस. That's it. हल्का फुल्का नाश्ता कर लेता हूँ. Okay, question number 34. Biggest problem for many 19th century New York immigrants. Underline biggest problem. And then 19th century New York immigrant neighborhoods was lack of amenities. Look here. What are amenities? Electricity, water, sewerage, and all that. Telephone, gas. They are called amenities. So the biggest problem for many 19th century. If amenities was the biggest problem, answer is yes, not true. Answer is yes. If there was another big problem or the biggest problem was not amenities, they had amenities but they had another problem, then the answer is no. And if they don't tell us the biggest problem, then the answer is not given. Please come back. Look for the word amenities. Second page, first paragraph. Found it? I'm reading it from second line. Barr identifies 4 primary immigrant enclaves and analyzes their locations in terms of the amenities available in the area. Now, did he mention that amenities was the biggest problem? Number 1, no. Number 2, did he mention the biggest problem? No. So, what is the answer? Not given. Question number 35, please. In the 19th century, New York's immigrant neighborhoods, underline 19th century and underline New York's immigrant neighborhoods, tended to concentrate around the harbor. Now look here. If they tended to concentrate around the harbor, means the beach area. If they tended to concentrate around the harbor, it is yes. If they concentrated on other areas, not the harbor. Harbor means the beach. Okay, if you watch any movie of New York, you see there is that harbor, and beyond that there are the skyscrapers and all that. So that's very popular point. So in 19th century, New York immigrant neighborhoods mean the people who settled there, tended to concentrate around the harbor. Now please come back. Same paragraph where we found the answer of 34. Most of these enclaves, found it? Most of these enclaves were located on the least valuable land between the industries located on the waterfront and the wealthy neighborhoods bordering Central Park. Now what do they say? Come back. In the 19th century, New York's immigrant neighborhoods tended to concentrate around the harbor. Now let's see if they tended to concentrate around the harbor or not. Come back here again. Most of these enclaves were located on the least valuable land. Now least valuable land they mentioned between the industries located on the waterfront and the wealthy neighborhoods bordering Central Park. So did they mention that immigrants' neighborhoods tended to concentrate around the harbor? Where did they concentrate? Exactly, most of these enclaves were located on the least valuable land. So that means they concentrated more on least valuable land between the industries located on the waterfront and the wealthy neighborhood. So answer is no. Information is given, but the answer is no. All right, thank you. Okay. Now, we have another interesting question type in reading, academic reading part 3, and that is sentence completion or summary completion with a box. Summary completion with a box means you will have to find a word from the passage, then you will find a synonym of that word from the box, and the answer is going to be A, B, C, D. Okay? For example, questions 31 to 34. Complete the summary of paragraph 3. All right. They've mentioned using the list of words. Summary of paragraph 3 using the list of words. So that is the summary of paragraph 1, 2, and 3. Got it? It means now we know the location. Summary of paragraph 3 using the list of words. Okay. Camera art. Fine. In the early days of photography, I'm reading question number 31. Are you there? Good. In the early days of photography, opinions on its future were dash. Now underline the word opinions. For opinions, they might use the word views. So how were the views? Views were something, opinions were something. Now let's go back. I'm reading third paragraph. From the maze of conflicting statements and heated articles on the subject, 3 main positions about the potential of camera art emerged. From the maze of conflicting statements, underline conflicting statements, and come back. Opinions, that is statements. Find a word for conflicting. From A, B, C, D, find a word for conflicting. A is inventive, B is similar, C is beneficial, D is next, E is mixed. Conflicting and mixed, they are synonyms. So the answer of question number 31 is E. You will not write mixed, you will write E. Got it? Mixed and conflicting. Okay, after that they say, a large number of artists and ordinary people saw photographs as dash to painting. As dash to painting means comparison with painting. They saw it as dash to painting. Come back. The simplest entertained. Found it? Yes. Third paragraph, fourth line. The simplest entertained by many painters and a section of public was that photographs should not be considered art. When you are comparing photographs with art and you are saying photographs should not be considered art, means they are inferior. Now come back. Photographs should not be considered art. So they say a large number of artists and ordinary people saw photographs as Photographs should not be considered art means photographs as inferior. Okay? Photographs should not be considered art means photographs are inferior. You know, in Urdu you say photographs को art का दर्जा नहीं देना चाहिए means उससे बदतर है, उससे कमतर है, like that. Okay? So the answer is G for 32. You will not write the word, you will write G. Okay, भाई बुत नहीं बनना. It's just like हिलना भी है. Yeah, good. Don't worry, reading हो जाएगी. आहिस्ता आहिस्ता. Okay, let's go on. Question number 33. Another popular view was that photographs could have a role to play in the art world, despite the photographer being less dash. Photographer less dash. Something related to photographer. Come back. Photographer. Just look for the word photographer. Okay, the next page. All right, let's read it from there. The second widely held view shared by painters, some photographers. Found it? Now we read this one. Some photographers and some critics was that photographs would be useful to art but should not be considered equal in creativeness to drawing and painting. Should not be equal in creativeness to drawing and painting. Now keep this in mind. Should not be considered equal means photographs should not be considered equal in creativeness to drawing and painting. Should not be. Less creativeness. Another word for creativeness. Inventive. Exactly. So should not be, for should not be they use the word less. And for creativeness they use the word inventive. I like your creative behavior. I like your inventive behavior. So 33 answer is A. Finally, question number 34. Finally, a smaller number of people suspected that the impact of photography on art and society could be. Impact of photography on art and society could be. Now let's go back. Impact of photography on art and society. Same paragraph. Absolutely. So you can just see impact. All right, they use the word positive influence. I'm reading it from the beginning. Let's go. A fair number of individuals. Found it? Let's read from there. A fair number of individuals realized that camera images were or could be as significant as handmade works of art. Right? Now what are they saying? Camera images were or could be as significant as handwriting. As significant means as beneficial as handmade works of art, that they might have a positive influence on the arts and on culture in general. Now come back. Not similar, but beneficial. Finally, a smaller number of people suspected that the impact of photography on art and society could be beneficial. Again, come back. A fair number of individuals. Fair number means smaller number. A fair number of individuals realized that camera images were or could be as significant as handmade works. As significant means beneficial. Okay? All right. So for question number 34, answer is C. Good. Okay guys, now we've got last 6 questions, and this is what we call matching. Matching is very common question type in academic reading part 3 as well as gender training reading part 3.
Part 3 of AC reading and GT reading, they are same. Okay, so those who are GT reading candidates, part 3 is going to be same like academic reading. And part 1 and 2, there they will only get 3 question types. Number 1, GT reading, I'm talking about GT reading. Sentence completion, true, false, not given, short answer question in part 1 and 2 of GT reading. But in part 3, academic reading and general training, they are same. Long passage, type of questions, number of questions, everything is same. Okay, now we've got this question type which is called matching. There are different ways of doing it. Let me tell you, they have given us questions 35 to 40. Now, this is not type A question. This is type B. But actually, I would say it is type A. Why? Questions and passage, they are not in order, but options and the passage, they are in order. Now listen and remember, whenever they give you matching names with statements, so for that, statements and the passage, they are not in order, but the questions, the names and the passage, they are in order. Now I want you to go back and look for the word Jean Auguste Dominique Ingres. Jean Auguste Dominique Ingres. Found it? Okay. Now you have to do one thing. Write A over there. Write A over there. After that, B, Francis Way. Francis Way. Write B over there. Got it? Francis Way. Okay. Then after that, you can come to C, Charles. C, Charles. Found it? Charles is C. Okay, then Eugene. Option D is Eugene. Found Eugene? That is D. Okay? Now, after Eugene, we've got Philip. Philip. Found Philip? That is option E. Just write E over there. Done it? Now you've written A, B, C, D. This is going to make your work easier, right? Now we start from option A. All of you, please come to option A. Jean Auguste Dominique. Found it? And whenever you are going to match statements with people, with scientists, with researchers, mostly statements are given in inverted commas. So you can just focus that as well. But sometimes they are not as well. Now let's see. Jean Auguste Dominique Ingres began almost immediately to use photography to make a record of their own output and also to provide themselves with source material. What did he do? He began immediately to use photography to make a record of their own output. Means if he was a painter, he started taking photographs of his own paintings, right? Own output and also to provide themselves with source material for poses and backgrounds. They used a photograph for background and then they did painting on that. Now let's go back. Please go through questions 35 to 40. Question number 35, let's read it. He claimed that photography would make paintings more realistic. No, but underline that. He claimed photography, painting more realistic. 36, he highlighted the limitations and deceptions of the camera. Underline limitations and deceptions. 37, he documented his production of artwork by photographing his work. Yes, documented. What is the word for documented? Go back. Documented. To make a record. To make a record means to document. So for 37, correct answer is A. Now, let's read on. Sometimes one person can have 2 questions also. Okay, question number 38. He noted the potential for photography to enrich artistic talent. Potential of photography, underline that. 39. He based some of the scenes in his paintings on photographs. He based some of the scenes in his painting on photograph. Come back. Can you see that? Also provide themselves with source material for poses and backgrounds. Source material for poses and background, that is, he based some of the scenes in his painting on photographs. So 39 answer is A. Question number 40. He felt photography was part of the trend towards greater mechanization. Okay, photography part of trend. Now, after A, second is Francis Way. So we go to Francis Way. The very next one. Okay. The view, I'm reading this paragraph. The view that photographs might be worthwhile to artists was enunciated in considerable detail by Lucan and Francis Way. The letter means Francis Way. Okay, and what is the word for Lucan? They can use the word former. If they say former, we did this once, former and letter. Okay, the letter means Francis Way, an art and literary critic who eventually recognized that camera images could be inspired as well as informative, suggested that they would lead to greater naturalness in the graphic depiction of anatomy, clothing, likeness, expression, and landscape. Okay? And then by studying photographs, true artists, he claimed, would be relieved of menial tasks and become free to devote themselves to the more important spiritual aspects of their work. Now go back. Question number 35. He claimed that photography would make painting more realistic. Yes? Why? Yes, naturalness means more realistic. Come back. Camera images could be inspired as well as informative, suggested that they would lead to greater naturalness in the graphic depiction. These two words. Got it? He claimed that photography would make painting more realistic. For more realistic, they use the word naturalness in the graphic depiction of anatomy, clothing, likeness, expressions, and all that. Okay, 35 is also done. Now, we go on. After that, the next one is C. Charles. Charles. Where is Charles? Exactly. Charles or Charles. Huh? Okay, now they start talking about Charles from line number 90. So let's go through it. Charles Baudelaire, writing in response to an exhibition of photography in 1859, lazy and untalented painters would become photographers, fired by a belief in art as an imaginative. Fired means people criticized him. Fired by a belief in art as an imaginative embodiment of cultivated ideas and dreams, Baudelaire regarded photographs as, now, a very humble servant of art and science, okay? A medium largely unable to transcend external reality. For this critic means Charles. Now for Charles, they use the word for this critic. For this critic, photography was linked with great industrial madness of the time. Photography was linked with great industrial madness of the time. Wow. Industrial mechanization. It is question number 40. Just focus this line. For this critic, photography was linked with the great industrial madness of the time. Great industrial. Industrial is linked with mechanization. Greater mechanization. He felt photography was part of the trend towards great mechanization. So for question number 40, answer is C. Now we are left with 36 and 38. And we have got two options. Now come to option D, Eugene. Now let's look for Eugene. The very next paragraph, Eugene. Okay, let's read about him. Eugene Delacroix. If the word is difficult to read, just read the first syllable, like Eugene Dell. Eugene Dell was the most prominent of the French artists who welcomed photography as helpmate but recognized its limitations. Okay, focus that. Let's go on. Regretting that such a wonderful invention had arrived so late in his lifetime, he still took lessons in daguerreotyping and both commissioned and collected photographs. Okay, now again, Delacroix or Dell enthusiasm for the medium can be sensed in a journal entry noting that if photographs were used as they should be, an artist might raise himself to heights that we don't know yet. Inverted commas. If photographs were used as they should be, an artist might raise himself to heights that we don't know. That is the potential for photography. Question number 38. Exactly. He noted the potential for photography to enrich artistic talent. Read that line again. Enthusiasm for the medium can be sensed in a journal entry noting, then they say that if photographs were used as they should be, an artist might raise himself to heights that we do not yet know. That means he noted the potential for photography to enrich artistic talent. 36 is different. I'll tell you where do we use it. No, he highlighted the limitations and deception. Deception means fraud. It's not there. Yeah, it's deceptions of the camera. And he's talking about camera. Now let's go on. What is left? If one question is left, one option is left, time is running out, just write it blindly. Okay? Yeah. Okay guys, now please come to Philip. Found it? Line number 120 and then onwards. Okay. Philip Gilbert Hamilton, to dismiss camera images as narrow in range, emphatic in assertion, telling one truth for 10 falsehood. One truth for 10 falsehood. And whatever he said at that time, now it is true. You look at the selfie of the person with the filters, and you look at the person without. In the real life, hell of difference. Yeah, why not he, huh? Why she? आपने ही क्यों नहीं सोचा? हो चुका है कुछ आपके साथ, हाँ? Alright, alright. अब तो ये होता है, पहले दौर में कोमल नहीं होती थी, कोमल की जगह पे असद याकूब होता था. But now it's different. Anyways, now just focus this thing. Philip Gilbert Hamilton to dismiss camera images. He dismisses camera images as narrow in range, emphatic in assertion, telling one truth for 10 falsehood. And we've got question number 36. He highlighted the limitations and deception. Deception is one truth for 10 falsehood. And narrow in range is limitation. Exactly. So 36 is for E, and that's it. घर में ना एक भालू रखें बड़ा सा, रीडिंग टेस्ट में जाओ गुस्सा चढ़े जूती उतार के तसल्ली से. एग्जैक्टली उसका नाम रखें आइट्स रीडिंग. एग्जैक्टली तसल्ली करें अब. ओके, नाउ वी मूव ऑन. The second passage, changing role of airports. Inshallah you will go to airport, huh? Yeah. Then you'll say, wow, international airport is there. Yeah. Okay. Changing role of airports means one role of airport is for aeroplanes, and changing role means they have some other roles as well. Like people will go to airport to attend a meeting. Strange idea, huh? You say, I'm going to the airport to attend a seminar. For example, or you say, I'm going to airport for shopping. You know, some airports, they have duty-free shops and all that. So you might say, I'm going to airport to drink coffee. This is what we call changing role of airports. Once I went to airport to drink coffee. Yeah. All right, let's go on. Okay. Kuch yaad aa gaya. Now, let's go on. The second subtitle is airports continue to diversify their role in an effort to generate income. भूखे मर रहे हैं. So they want to generate income, okay? Yeah. Have you seen this bottle of water from the airport? It will cost you 100 rupees. See that? And outside only 30, 35, right? So, because things are expensive. So they say airports continue to diversify their role in an effort to generate income. Are business meeting facilities the next step? Now, what is business meeting facility? A seminar, a workshop. So they are going to talk about business meeting facilities at the airport, right? Speaker will come directly from the country, arrange a meeting there, and then you go back, okay, like that. Then you can see passages labeled A, B, C, D. Whenever they label the passage, there can be two troubles. Trouble number one, list of headings. Trouble number two, which paragraph contains the following information. Whenever they label it, these two questions could be there, right? Okay. Now, let's come to questions 14 to 18. The text has 8 paragraphs, A to H. Which paragraph contains the following information? How many questions do we have? 14 to 18. 5 questions. And how many passages do we have? How many paragraphs? 8 paragraphs. It means questions are less and paragraphs are more. So some paragraphs will not contain anything. Now over here, there are two things. This is type B. Type B means questions and answers are not in order. So for this, I advise you to read all the questions first, and in every question you need to underline a clue word and then start with the next questions 19 to 22. And what is that question type? Complete the sentences below. Sentence completion is type A, where questions and answers are in order. After that, we have questions 23 to 26. Complete the summary below. That is also type A. So I advise you to start with type A, finish it all, and then when you go to type B, you will be very well familiar with the passage already. Clear? Okay, that's good. Now, let's just do 14 to 18 together. Now, for the question type, which paragraph contains the following information? You will do it at the end of that section, not end of your reading test, end of the section. Now, I tell you how to read the question and how to find that. Evidence, question number 14. Evidence that a significant number of airports provide meeting facility. Look here. Evidence, significant number of airports provide meeting facility. Number. Find a paragraph where they have mentioned 150 airports provide meeting facility, 200 airports, 185 airports, 90 airports. Go back and find it. Komal? All right. Come on, find a paragraph with the number of airports there. Paragraph E. Can you see that? Fourth line, 154 airports and 68% of these answered yes. What was the question? Yeah, I mean, what was, no, the question here, they answered yes. They answered yes to the question, does your airport own and have a meeting facility? So evidence, a significant number of airports. Now listen, what is significant number? Not 154, 68%. 68% is significant number. They said there were responses from staff at 154 airports and 68% of these answered yes. So significant number is 68% airports provide meeting facility. And what is that? To the question, does your airport own and have meeting facilities available for hire? And their answer was yes. So for question number 14, answer is E. You will write paragraph number. Okay? Yeah, अभी सकता पड़ेगा, कईयों को दौरा भी पड़ेगा. Clear? Significant number of airports means out of 154, 68%. 68% is significant number. In Urdu language, we call it बहुत बड़ी तादाद, large number. So 68 from 154 is a significant number. Let's go on. Question number 15. I'm doing it this way, but you will do it at the end. Okay? Yeah. But you will read the questions first. Statement regarding the fact that no further developments are possible in some areas of airport trade. If they say they have reached to their limit, no further improvement is possible, they cannot be improved or anything like that. Go back to paragraph ABC. I just hint you. I give you the hint. Go to paragraph ABC. Payan, मेरी तरफ नहीं देखें, paragraph की तरफ देखें. You'll find the answer. ABC. Statement regarding the fact that no further developments are possible. Everything has been tried and tested. No room for improvement. Nothing can be improved. They have reached their limit and all that. What is it? Okay. Okay, paragraph B. Everyone, let's read it from the beginning. Paragraph B. Some of the more obvious solution to growing commercial revenue, such as extending the merchandising space or expanding the variety of shopping opportunities, have already been tried to their limit at many airports. Tried to their limit means they have reached the maximum limit. No further improvement is possible. Now underline tried to their limit and no further developments are possible. These are synonyms. And you should know that. And I have seen the same synonym being used in another test also. Tried their limit and no further developments are possible. So for question number 15, what is the answer? B. Okay. Now, question number 16. Reference. Reference means mention to the low level of income that meeting facilities produce. Look here. Low level of income means income will be mentioned in numbers and currency. Numbers and currency. And what is international currency? Dollar, euro, pound and all that. So there's going to be some international currency along with the number. Reference to the low level of income. Low level of income. Wow. Okay. Paragraph G. Yeah, we've got $12,000. So I'm reading it from second line. Let's read it from the beginning. The survey asked, paragraph G, survey asked respondents with meeting facility to estimate how much revenue their airport earned from its meeting facility during the last financial year. Average revenue per airport was just. Now what does just mean? Just means low level of income. For example, if someone says my salary is just $1,000, right? So just means it's low, right? So just 12,959. When you talk about an airport meeting facility and they are only earning $12,000, it's nothing. So just and low level. What is the answer for question number 16? G. All good? And you will be comfortable doing it when you do it at the end, because then you have read the passage, you are familiar with the passage and all that. Question number 7, mention of the impact budget airlines on airport income. Now look here, budget airline is cheap airline, where they don't offer you water, lunch and all that. One of my friends, he traveled in that cheap airline and he said they were demanding money for tea. Chai peeni hai? Liya 200 rupiya. Okay. And in the air, you cannot go anywhere. You cannot say, fine, open the door and I'll go to McDonald's. Not at all. Okay, so these airlines are called budget airlines. But you don't go in budget airline. Yeah, your first journey, Emirates. Yeah, Lufthansa or any other. Or you say, yeah, take me in the aeroplane from any route. Yeah, you know, sometimes from Lahore to first another country, then another country, then another country, and finally you reach. That airline is cheap, but you can enjoy the journey. Yeah, by air. Okay, so budget airline. They say mention of the impact of budget. Now look for the word cheap, economical, cheap flights, budget airline and all that. Low cost, budget means low cost. Go to paragraph ABC. A, last line there. Okay? Now see that budget airline means low cost. So I'm going to read it from second last line. Meanwhile, are you there? Okay, paragraph A. Meanwhile, the pressure to control the level of aeronautical revenue are as strong as ever due to the poor financial health of many airlines and the rapid rise of low-cost carrier sector. Carrier means airliners. Low-cost carrier sector, and low-cost carrier sector means budget airlines. And impact, what is the word of impact? Rapid rise of low-cost carrier sector. Yeah, the pressure to control the level of aeronautical revenues are as strong as. No, poor financial health is different thing. It's altogether different thing. Only rapid rise of, yeah, rapid rise is actually that word. Exactly. Rapid rise means impact. Impact of budget airlines. So for 17, answer is A. And for budget airlines, they have used the word low cost carrier. Now, you know those who are in aviation, they use the word carrier. Like PIA, Air India, Lufthansa, Air Blue, they are all carriers. C-A-R-R-I-E-R. And the other word is career. I'm concerned about my career. C-A-R-E-E-R. Exactly. Okay, now question number 18. Examples of airport premises that might be used for business purposes. Now, airport premises might be used for business purposes, for shopping malls, for meeting facilities, and some other. Now, go to paragraph B and C. Paragraph C, third line. Let's read it from second line. After full stop. Paragraph C, second line after full stop. This includes offering business centers that supply support services, meeting or conference rooms, and other space for special events. What are the purposes? Number 1, business centers. Number 2, meeting or conference rooms. Number 3, space for events. You see, I'm going to the airport to attend the birthday of my friend, or I'm going to the airport to attend a wedding. Okay, something like that. So they've mentioned these things, examples of airport premises that might be used for business purposes. What is business purpose? What is for business purpose? Yeah, meetings, that is for business purpose, and business centers. All right, now that's it. Yasin?